I mean, let's keep it real. It, if the Chiefs do win out these last 5 games, every team, and I mean every team in the AFC, is going to pretend they're not nervous.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I
But
think I think we can say that. I think we can say that because of the 5 game win streak. On
yes,
top of that,
so
if they go on
it
a streak, that means they're hitting on all cylinders at that point. Which
exactly.
means you don't want to. That would be the worst time for them to do that as far as like the other teams
Yeah.
heading
So
into the playoffs.
what's happening, everybody? This is Big Temp, and my co-host. He's with me today, Mr. Mike LaFleur. We are the Cave Cast, and just before we get started, as we hop in here, I want to let everybody know, if you're new to the channel, you've never seen us or come across us before, be sure that you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's free, don't cost you nothing, and we will keep you up to date with a lot of the newest Chief content that we have available. And we also give you a little bit of insight to the fan side of everything. Mr. LaFleur, how you feeling today?
Doing all right, man. Just I'm ready for this game. Come on, man. Get that day. I need that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we kind of missed you here last week. I had to go solo dolo. I know you were having some technical difficulties, but I think I made a point about one side about how a lot of Chief fans might feel about the season. Not only them, but even some of my own, self doubt that I had about some items of things, basically of interest that have happened throughout the season that made me, pause about how this season has gone. So, but I mean, let's keep it real. It, if the Chiefs do win out these last 5 games, every team, and I mean every team in the AFC, is going to pretend they're not nervous.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
But
I think we can say that. I think we can say that because of the 5 game win streak. On
yes,
top of that,
so
if they go on a streak, that means they're hitting on all cylinders at that point. Which
exactly.
means you don't want to. That would be the worst time for them to do that as far as like the other teams
Yeah,
heading into
so
the playoffs.
I mean,
So
they'll feel it, in their chest. I mean, they can deny it all they want, but they'll feel it in their chest. Because I mean, let's be honest, Kansas City is the team that they tend to figure it out in December. Okay, it's like the football version of a bad omen. You don't want to see it. You 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 don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit you're scared, but deep down, it's coming. And that's the thing that people don't understand. People forget this team it still has Patrick Mahomes. When he locks in late in the season, it's a different kind of problem, right? It's a different kind of problem. He stops, playing checkers and starts playing chess, okay, or whatever game, only three, maybe I say three quarterbacks in the NFL, as far as history goes, even understand. So this is the issue I have, right? Nothing the Chiefs have done this season has told me that the Chiefs can go on a 5 game win streak this late in the season against teams that are pretty damn good. But that does not mean that we haven't seen a 6-loss team like the Chiefs win a Super Bowl. We've watched it happen. I don't know if anybody remembered just a couple years back, they were a 6-loss team going into the playoffs. I know you remember that, Mike. Mike, what happened to you? I done lost you again.
My bad. No, I'm here. Uh, I was talking and I just realized I was on mute.
Yeah,
Nah, I was saying that I remember that year because I remember people saying we wasn't gonna make the playoffs that year,
yeah, yeah, and
and
that's why I
we
said,
was first in the we was first in the division
yeah.
that
Eh,
year, which is crazy. People were
So
saying that.
the way I look at it is this: a hot Mahomes is basically like a walking playoff cheat code. Okay, you can have the better record. You can have the number one defense. We know how that's worked out a lot of times. You can also have the shiny MVP candidate. None of that matters if 15 gets rolling. And
Right.
if the offense finds rhythm these next 5 games, if the line settles in, if the receivers stop, treating the ball like it's covered in motor oil, and if Rasheed Rice keeps his foot on the gas, I meant that figuratively, not literally. So you're not stopping that. So
Yeah, because
you're.
I think
I'm just
like that we talked about this. They fixed their man. If they just fix the red zone issue,
true.
like if they keep everything the same and fix their red zone issue as far as scoring touchdowns, that to me changes a lot. Like
Yes.
you scoring touchdowns in the red zones instead of field goals or not scoring at all. That's a huge difference in what this
Yeah.
offense is looking
And
like
I
because they've
I
been
think
moving the ball.
yes, and that's exactly why I'm saying this, because if they do that and they start scoring at least half of those, red zone situations, because as far as touchdowns go, then at that point, you're just, as the other team, you're just hoping that the damage doesn't get embarrassing for your team. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm saying if they get rolling, that's if they can put it all together and they get rolling and they start converting those red zone trips into touchdowns, you don't want this to get to where, i.e., the Houston Texans one year. Do you remember that?
Right.
Up by 24, everything's going your way, and then all of a sudden, the floodgates just open, right? So that's just on the offensive side, right? Then there's the defense. That's the part nobody really wants to talk about, right? Now, I know we've had some issues with the defense, but listen, nobody wants to talk about it because it ruins, the cute little Chiefs fell off narrative, right? The defense is battle tested. I will give it that. They have some young pieces. They have some speed on that side. And look, if Spagnola gets a 5-game runway to tighten up that defense and everything before the postseason, basically, that could be a real nightmare for some teams, because, like I said, there's no runaway favorite in the AFC right now. There
I don't
really
think there's
is.
a runaway favorite in the NFL. Period. I'm gonna be honest with you.
True, but I'm
There
just saying
isn't.
my
I
my
agree
only
though.
my only concern right now is the AFC, because let's be honest about it. The AFC has teams that are there that are leading the pack right now, and there's teams that I'm looking at going, if we get in the playoffs, I'm not worried about New England because they haven't really played nobody,
Man, I
right?
looked at their schedule. They have
The easiest schedule you can think of.
two respectable wins on there, and I say might because the Buccaneers have kind of fell off over the last like
Yeah,
3 to 4 weeks. They kind of
yeah,
fell off. So
yeah. And the
they beat the
Bills.
Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they beat the Bills and they beat the Bucks. But other than that, they played are trash.
I will be very honest about this. If that defense if Spags gets a chance to tighten these things up, He can change a couple of things, get guys to fucking, get into their positions, play their positions correctly. I mean, they do disguise everything, right? They do a lot of disguising. They blitz you from spots you didn't even know existed, right? It's like trying to solve a puzzle that keeps
Right.
like it just keeps adding new pieces while the clock is ticking, right? So I think that they're probably one of the most, they're like the X factor. If the defense can play its role
Especially on third
correctly,
down, Dad. That's what's killing us is
that's
third down,
third
Dad.
down, and especially third and longs.
Yes,
Because
yeah. Third and longs are killing us, bro.
if they can do that and tighten it up to where now we're making these guys punt, right? And having to get rid of the ball on fourth down, right? I think that can change a lot of things, right? It can change a lot of the fortunes of the Chiefs. And let's not forget this. Playoff experience is a weapon. When the pressure, gets high and it spikes, most teams they kind of play real tight, right? Kansas City doesn't have to worry about that because they've been in every kind of dogfight in the playoffs. They've made every kind of comeback in the playoffs. They know how to win ugly. They know how to win late. And they know how to win when it matters. Simple as that. So, yeah, if the Chiefs run the table and hit January with, a little bit of momentum, no one in the AFC is, raising their hand like, huh, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll take Kansas City in the first round or in
Hey, I
round
want to
one.
say this too. I want to say this too.
No,
I want to challenge a certain player on the defense, man. Because I
oh,
think,
okay,
to be honest with you, I think he's better. He's been, and I don't think he's played terrible,
okay,
but I think he can be better. George
okay.
Karlaftis, man. We need you. I need
Yeah,
him to somewhere he ain't never reached before. I need him to be an animal as far as trying to get to that damn quarterback, bro. And
I needed him to be Frank.
he
I needed
got
him
to
to be
finish.
Frank Clark, playoff Frank Clark. I need him to be playoff
It's just
Frank Clark.
he needs to finish. Like when you get off that edge and you beat your man one on one, because we've seen him do it. Like he can
Yeah,
beat his guy one on one. It's just about him not finishing as far as
he can't. You know what I
hitting
noticed
that
about
quarterback.
him? You know what I noticed about him? And it's just me. One of the things I noticed that he does not do well, he does not disengage once he's beaten
Yes,
a guy. He doesn't disengage well. And that, it may be the hand thing with that thumb that he's got, that's messed up. I'm not for sure. But I did notice that in a couple of these games that when he does get a chance to beat a guy, he doesn't disengage well, and I don't know what that's from. I don't know if it is from the thumb or he's just never been good at hand fighting, which you wouldn't think would be a thing, but that's part of the big problem for him. And I do agree. I do
I think he's
agree.
better. I think he's better than what he's played like though. I think he can, bro. He can be. I just think he needs to just fucking reach and get to that. I think it's more of a mindset thing. Cause
Yeah, it could be.
it's gotta be a relentless thing of just getting to the quarterback, bro. It's
Yeah.
got to. I think he's gotta step it up because out of all the other players on the defensive end, especially on the defensive line, outside of Chris Jones, he's the only one that has a smidge of a chance to do anything to that
Yeah.
extent. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, and that's why I said no one's raising their hand, you know, saying, "Hey, look, we want the Chiefs. Oh yeah, we want the Chiefs in the first round." No, they're praying someone else draws that
right.
assignment. So, I mean, because think about it, a dialed in Chiefs team is the one thing nobody wants to see when the postseason, comes around, right? It's just like I said, if they win 5 straight and they're not just, they're not out of the playoffs. If they win 5 straight and everything falls where it needs to fall, teams lose, whatever teams need
I
to
think
lose.
I've seen something. They have like a 98% chance to get in the playoffs if they win out.
Yeah. So, but
How
like I
about
said,
that?
but if they win 5 straight, they're not just dangerous. Okay, they are the team that flips the whole AFC bracket upside down, because now everybody is worrying who's going to get the Chiefs. And let's be honest, we've heard this before. The Chiefs get in as a wild card and they got to go on the road. Hey, look, okay, fine.
Yeah, I know they haven't been great on the road this year, but
No,
like you said, in the playoff setting,
it's a different
it's a
It's a
different
different
animal.
animal. It's a
Yeah, for
different
sure.
animal, right? It is a completely different animal. All I can tell you is, to me, there is a different thing that happens in the playoffs. And if they get there, especially if it looked like they weren't going to have a chance, or that they were on the outside looking in, and they win these 5 straight and then they do wind up getting in, I can see the locker room saying,
Oh, the confidence is going to be crazy, bro.
we are here now, and there is nobody else that knows how to win in this situation like we do. We've been here before. We have the guys that have done it. We can make a run at this. And if they win that first game, in the
Hey,
playoffs,
listen.
it
But
could,
this is why I was saying, like, if there's a chance, this is why I was talking about the whole torn thing
yeah,
about us potentially not making it and then
yeah,
making it. But man, like we always say, realistically, like if we still mathematically can get in, man, you gotta try, you gotta go for it, man.
you
Until
do,
you just legit can't get in,
yeah.
you gotta keep going for it, man.
And
Like
see, when
especially with Mahomes, man, because there's always a chance. Like
when I
you never
made the
know.
when I made the video last week, what I was doing was I was coming from a place of that, you know, okay, look, we don't look that good this year. We've made a lot of mistakes. The coaching has been bad. It's that doubt, right? And I don't care who you are. If even as a fan, there's always a little bit of doubt in the back of your head, right? That you're going to be able to pick the pieces up and, you know, gather momentum going into, the next game, or if trying to get into the playoffs. It's always going to be a little bit of doubt, especially if things haven't gone really well, that season so far. But the one thing you have to do if you're a competitor, which these guys are, as competitors, they're going to want to fight. They're going to want to prove everybody wrong. At some point or another, the switch has got to get flipped. I think last week with Mahomes in Dallas, the last time that they played, right? I think that Mahomes was locked in. Did they have some mistakes here and there? Yes. But for the most part, Mahomes looked like he was willing to do whatever he had to do to win that game against Dallas. And I still think there was no reason why they punted that ball when they should have went
Oh
ahead.
my God,
And
man! You know what's crazy? I think that's another reason why we lost because Andy Reid wasn't being aggressive like he had been before.
nope. And so
I don't know
that's
what that was about. At the Cowboys 40, it was like at the Cowboys 40 or something like
yeah.
fourth and three or something like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, what are you doing, bro?
And
Like,
and the bad
come
part was is
on.
that your defense was having a hard time. So what do you have to do on offense? You have to kick it into another gear, and you got to do whatever is necessary to pick up those 3 yards to put the pressure back on Dallas. And I think Andy let him off the hook. I think he let Dallas off the hook on the defensive side by not pushing the issue.
Yeah,
I
especially when
don't.
we're like one of the best fourth quarter or the fourth down teams in the league. Like,
Now, I will say this though. I believe there was a talk after that game. I believe there was a talk between Andy and Patrick. And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe Patrick probably said something along the lines of, hey, what the fuck are we doing? We have no room for error. And by us not taking advantage and going out there and putting the pressure back on them, that shows that we're not trying to win. We're trying not to lose. And that's not how you play the game. I guarantee you there was a talk between Andy and Patrick. Because the way Patrick looked after that game said everything that I needed to see.
and
he,
look, I'm
that,
gonna say this too. People keep talking about MVP. He doesn't,
yeah,
as of right now. Obviously, they don't have the wins, right?
no, no.
Nigga, if they go on a 5 game streak, like win streak, and Mahomes keeps up this level of play, y'all can't tell me he won't be in that conversation
If
at the
that man,
minimum.
if that man throws for 300 yards per game in the next 5 games, that's another 1,500 yards added to the 32, 38 that he has right
He's
now.
already on pace for 4,500 right now.
That will put him over 4,600 yards right there. If he throws for another 300 yards per game for the last 5 games, that would put him over 4,600 yards. And let's be honest, that is a really good season passing
Yeah,
wise.
it's not over. Like people keep saying
No.
it's Drake May just because Stafford had that one like big game. I'm
Yeah.
just like, bro, Stafford still has 30 touchdowns and like 4 picks, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
actually more than 30. So I think
Yeah.
he's still in it too.
He's in it, and May's in it. But I also think that you got to consider two other guys. And that's only if these guys have a winning record, right? And that is Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes. I
Oh
think
yeah,
you
for
I
sure.
think I think you have to consider that. Dak Prescott, I'm gonna be honest with you. Offensively, the way he is seeing the field, the way he's throwing the ball, the confidence that guy has right now has been really, really like a 360 for him. Because in that game against the Chiefs, when he threw that first interception, it could have went downhill real quick for him. But he didn't let it bother him. Now, mind you, he definitely could have had 2 more picks in that game.
Man, actually, oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
He could have had 2 more picks in that game.
Oh, it doesn't
But
help when you ain't getting no pressure. Like they ain't. He was
yeah,
comfortable all game. Like
true, true. But
man.
even in the game against the Eagles the week before, he played really well. So all I'm saying is that I think that Patrick had a conversation with Andy Reid, and I really believe that that conversation was, Patrick telling him, "Hey, what are we doing? We got to be all in. We got to be." Now I'll be honest with you. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very, very hard to win 5 games straight especially against the
I will. Hey,
competition.
I'll say. Well, here's the thing. Dad. Here's the thing. To me, the only tough game they have left is the Texans, and I only say
Yeah,
that because of that defensive line, and then
yeah,
like our situation with our offensive line. We don't know exactly what's going to happen there all the
no,
way just yet.
no,
So, but all the rest of it, like I'm not really scared of the Chargers. I know we got the Broncos left on there too. The
yeah,
Raiders, like be for real. I'm not worried about the
and
Raiders.
the Titans.
And then we got the Titans. And
Yeah,
then three of those games, three of the like the Chargers,
yeah, the Chargers, the
Broncos,
Broncos, and the fucking Texans are all at Kansas City
they're all at
Arrowhead.
home. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then the Raiders and the Titans are all away. So
I like that because
they
we
have
are.
it lined up for them. They
Yeah,
have it
we
lined up for them.
we are 5-1 at home right now. So we could really go ahead and win those 3 games, and that would really put pressure on the Chargers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it would put a lot of pressure on the Colts. Because I tell you right now,
Listen, I
Colts
try to tell people.
the Colts got to play the Jags 2 times down the stretch here, and I'm not.
Too.
Yeah, I'm not really confident in what I've seen from Danny Dimes here coming down lately. He has not. I think that leg is bothering him a lot more than what people are letting on. So it could get really really ugly and turn upside down for the Colts real quick.
It would be better. It would be better for the Colts to take a nosedive anyway because we have the tiebreaker over them as well.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
I
then
think
if we beat Houston, that's going to help too. So
yeah. So I think it could be something very, you know, kind of like one of the stories for the ages if this was to happen and they get into the playoffs and then, like I said, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. You never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. But man, if they were to flip
nigga,
the
if they pull
script,
that off, that would fucking that if they pull that off and win the Super Bowl, that would make up for not winning the three-peat, in my opinion.
it would be
Because
very,
they would do it as a seventh seed, and that's
yeah.
never happened before.
Ooh, ooh, that would be, oh my
Crazy.
God.
That
You
would be
know,
fucking crazy.
let me tell you, I'm gonna address something too. I'm gonna address something. So, I had a conversation with a guy that I work, in the vicinity with. Now, mind you, this guy, he's a big conspiracy theorist. I'm just gonna say this, so we don't get it twisted. Every time, we have these talks, it's a lot of it's about how the NFL and Vegas have done all these things to make sure that the Chiefs win. I don't really understand his reasoning behind it. I really don't. Because, like I said, Kansas City is a flyover city. Missouri's a flyover state. That's not a destination city for a lot of people. It's not. It's a small cap market, the NFL doesn't
It's
necessarily
not
want.
Dallas or nothing like that.
No, the
Yeah,
NFL
come on,
doesn't
man.
want fucking Kansas City to be, the face of the league or the team of the NFL, or they would rather it be a team like fucking New York, the Giants, the Jets, maybe,
Also,
or
also that
Dallas.
would mean that all the other owners are also conspiring in this as well because
Yes,
it's all connected. The owners are part of what make
exactly.
the NFL, bro. Like,
So we had this conversation today, and this guy said to me, and I'm going to tell you this, Mike, because so he basically told me that the Chiefs get all the calls. And I said, they can't get all the calls when they're the most penalized team as far as yardage goes in the NFL since 2018, besides the New Orleans Saints. Now, mind you, that is two opposite ends of the spectrum, and I want you to understand why I'm saying this. On one hand, the Chiefs have 1,031 yards, I think it is, in total penalty yards since 2018. And the Saints have 1,081. There's a big difference or discrepancy in this conversation that we're having when I tell him this. And I told him simply, the reason why this is crazy is that the Chiefs are winning at this time that they are the most penalized team besides the Saints. And the Saints are not. We have to quit doing this shit because he told me that the reason why the Chiefs are winning these games is because the penalties are called at certain times that give the Chiefs the chance to win or score the final points of the game to go to Super Bowls or win Super Bowls. I said, wait a fucking minute.
isn't it
I
the
said,
opposite though? Like, what the fuck?
I said, wait a minute. I said, so you mean to tell me when they played the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, and there's like 13 seconds left or something like that on the clock, whatever it was. I think it was 8 seconds. And Mahomes ran to the sideline to get a first down. They were already in field goal, well, close to field goal position. And they still had a timeout. You mean to tell me the refs knew that that guy from the fucking Bengals was gonna run over there and hit him late, and they said, oh yeah, we gotta throw the flag because this was scripted for him to hit him late? Like, how did they know that that was gonna happen?
And
How?
also, people will still blatantly with a straight face say that was a bad call when he literally hit him
Out of
late,
bounds.
bro, out of
But
bounds.
I was just trying to
Like
figure out
it's crazy.
I was just trying to figure out how they've scripted this so well in front of millions of fucking people live, right?
The Cowboys and the Chiefs just broke the record for crying out loud for the most watched game in NFL history. And you
Exactly.
think ain't nobody catching on to that? Like, come on, bro. Like,
And that's really where the fucking argument started with me and this guy, because like I told him, the Chiefs got penalized more times in that game than the Cowboys and had more penalty yards in that game. You got to remember something. If the Chiefs get all the calls like everybody says, why are they not getting them now? And
man,
how come they're not getting them at the opportune times for them to score touchdowns or score in late in games to win these games? I don't follow this logic because it's flawed. That's probably why I don't
bro, the
follow it.
Cowboys game is the prime example, bro. Do you know how many calls that weren't called that game that should have got
Exactly.
called? Like, what are we
And,
doing?
but like I told him, and I'm gonna say this for anybody that is bitching about flags, right? If you are complaining about the flags and the refs being the reason why your team lost the game, I'm going to call you what I've always said. That is a loser mentality, because the flags don't mean shit. It's adversity. That's what football is based upon. It's the adversity of being able to have a common goal, a team anyway, to overcome whatever adversity is in front of you, to score, to hit the goal. And if you are complaining about the flags and the refs and how this, they cheating for this team to keep your team back, I'm going to call you that same thing I just said. Loser mentality. You can complain about a call and you think it was a bad call, this is that. But the minute you tell me that that is the reason why that your team lost, or a team lost because the refs were cheating for the other team, I know exactly where you stand. And I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I
No,
agree for the most part. Dad, okay,
I'm
I'll give you a
sorry.
perfect example. That game, I don't know what year this was. It's not a Chiefs game. Remember when the Saints played
True.
the
True.
Vikings? Dad,
Yeah.
like, come on, man. That's a
No.
that's a that's a perfect
Hold on.
example of the
Hold
refs
on. Hold
robbing
on.
the team.
Hold on. I'm not
Like,
saying I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if that is the reason why your team has lost every time they get into the playoffs, or
oh well,
they every
nah.
time I talk to you, it's because of the refs. Or every time I talk to you, it's because they got more flags. The team, the NFL just got it
Right.
against us. If I hear this shit from you every time, and it wasn't that your team played bad, or your team didn't convert when they needed to convert, or your team just made a bad throw, or whatever it was, missed tackle, whatever. If that is your excuse every time, it's the refs and it's the flags, you have a loser mentality.
No,
And
I
I,
agree. It can't
I
be the. It can't always be the refs. Yeah,
exactly.
I
And
agree.
so
Yeah.
that's why I said that, because I get tired of hearing the same fucking excuse from fans. And listen, I'm a fan. but I'm also rational about shit. And I was an athlete. I played sports for years. That's all I did. That's why I do what I'm doing now. I talk about sports. I talk about the Chiefs because I love sports. And I know you can't always blame it. And even if it was the fucking refs, even if the ref gave you a bad call, even if it was the bad timing, this is that, you know what you do? You fight through it. You fight through
But what
it.
if it's at the end? What if it's at the end of the game?
If it's at the end of the, hey, hold up. If it's at the end of, if it's at the end of the game, you know what that sounds like to me? Sounds like the Eagles all over again. It
I'm talking like when I say end of the game, I'm meaning like
yeah. But think about
because the
that.
Eagles still had a chance after that. Like,
I mean, they did, but that, guess what? Guess what we heard about? Guess what we heard about the whole game?
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Guess what we heard
Even though it
about?
actually was a hold, but that's the thing. That's the difference between calling a flag. That's a flag.
Exactly.
That isn't a flag. That was a flag, bro. Like, what are we doing?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that pisses me off, and this is part of the reason why the Chiefs have had problems this season. When you are an undisciplined team and you reach out and you grab and you hold, everything that you've done wrong throughout the season that you have not actually tried to work on to fix, if you get into the playoffs, it's going to be shown 10 times
but you know what I hate?
More illuminated on those things. It's
I agree.
Going to be so much brighter. Everybody's going to see it so much more.
The thing that I hate, though, is that, especially with that Cowboys game, what I don't like is if you're going to call, like, if the game starts, because, you know, every referee crew is different, right?
Yeah.
You kind of get a sense of how they're going to call the game within the first few drives, and you kind of get a feel of how the game is going to go in terms of how they're going to call it.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you're going to allow the receivers to be physical more so than usual,
yeah,
okay, that's fine. But in that same breath, you should also allow these to be able to match that to an extent.
And you're
and
right.
Then on top of that,
yeah.
And then on top of that, this is what I don't understand about Reed. If you see that the refs are reffing the wide receivers this way, why aren't you trying to do the same with your bigger receivers?
You're absolutely right.
I don't understand that.
I have no problem with everything that you just said right there. What I will say is this.
Like you should be trying to do the same thing.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Depending on where you are playing at, right? I'm going to say I expected a lot of calls not to go the Chiefs' way because they were playing in Dallas. That's number one. Home cooking is a real thing, right? Home field advantage is a real thing. Refs going to give calls to stars, right? And we know that CeeDee Lamb is a superstar as far as the wide receivers go. They consider CeeDee Lamb to be a superstar. And George Pickens is making a very big name for himself down in Dallas this year. There's no doubt about that. But the thing about it is, like you said, if that's how they're calling the game, Andy Reid needs to make some adjustments.
Exactly.
He needs to make some adjustments.
Especially with his receivers. I'm like, bro, why? Well, if that's the case, why aren't you allowing fucking Rashee Rice and, other receivers to match that? And you should be doing the same with Rashee Rice. I don't think their DBs can fucking cover when Rashee Rice is playing physical.
No. I will be honest I'll be honest about this. I don't think that I think a lot of what's happened this season as far as how the game is being coached and the play calling, how it's coming in, how the schemes are, personnel that goes out on the field. This year seems like a very weird year for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I ain't gonna lie. It's been weird in the entire NFL this year. I'm sorry. This year is weird, bro. It is nothing like we thought it was gonna be, bro.
Yeah.
Across the board. It's weird.
No, it's
weird as hell.
So I'm gonna so we're not gonna stay on here long tonight. And if you guys don't know, like I said, hit that like button. If this is your first time coming to this channel, hit the like button, hit the sub button. So tonight, I'm gonna say this. we have a game this Sunday. Houston is coming to KC. And this is going to be a tough game, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win because we have to win. I'm going to pick the
And we
Chiefs.
were in that same situation last year, just saying.
Yeah, so
Same team.
I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game. I'm going to say we win this game. I'm going to say we win this game 24 to 17. I'm going 24-17. I don't think it's going to be a barn burner, but I do think the Chiefs are going to have to put up at least 24 points to win this game because I think that they can give. I don't think C.J. Stroud's all the way back yet. I don't think he is. So that's my pick. That's my pick for this game. You got a pick? You got a score?
Oh, of course I'm going Chiefs. I'm gonna say 28 21. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay. I like that too.
Nothing crazy.
I can see that too. So those are our picks. That's our scores that we're giving you guys. And like I said, don't use our scores or our picks to go out and bet your life away because we are not pros.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for. Hold on, I'm not responsible if you lose.
Exactly.
But if you do win some major dough cheese, I am responsible. So go ahead and break me off a little something. You know what I'm saying? Like.
I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna tell you that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a little. I'll give you out my cash out.
So yeah, that's what we wanted to do tonight. We wanted to come on here. We wanted to talk. We wanted to give the other side of the coin of, I do believe that if the Chiefs can get things going correctly, if they can get their head out of their ass, and the coaching staff can fucking,
run the
fucking ball.
And all your running backs is healthy.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see I hope Pierce gets a chance to run the ball this week. I want to see what he looks like. I hope they give him a chance. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. So Chiefs fans, I hope you guys come back and watch some more of our content. I hope you guys, if you're finding us for the first time, I hope you come back. I really do. So again, I am Big Temp. That is Mr. Mike LaFleur. We are the Cave Cast. Every week, we will try to put content out. So we hope you come back and check us out again next week after a Chiefs victory this Sunday against the Texans. Y'all take it easy. We'll see y'all next week.